With a GDP of $48.4 billion, North Korea is a secretive nation of 25 million people, led by Kim Jong-un. Decades of extensive sanctions have been imposed on North Korea, including restrictions on weapons, raw materials, machines, vehicles, luxury goods, chemicals, and textiles. The totalitarian regime has limited trade with few countries, primarily buying instead of selling, increasing international debt. As a result, the economy has been stagnant for years, and millions of people live in extreme poverty. But Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un and his elite still manage to enjoy lives of luxury while funding the state's irreversible nuclear mission. So where's all the money coming from? North Korea will stop at nothing, engaging in insurance fraud, cyber attacks, counterfeit money, and modern slavery. Additionally, its one currency is not traded in international markets. North Korea, officially known as the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, often sparks curiosity. Many people wonder about its economic status and overall wealth. Assessing North Korea's wealth is challenging due to its closed-off nature and unreliable economic data. However, various indicators and reports offer insights into the country's financial condition. North Korea's economy has struggled because of its isolationist policies, yet the exact extent of the country's hardships is unknown, as the nation does not release detailed data. Several countries and international organizations have imposed sanctions on North Korea. Many of these sanctions are aimed at addressing North Korea's nuclear weapons program, which began after its initial atomic test in 2006. According to the CIA World Factbook, which collects information for U.S. government agencies, North Korea's economy is one of the most centrally directed and least open in the world. It faces chronic economic problems. The report states that the industrial capital stock is nearly beyond repair due to years of underinvestment, shortages of spare parts, and poor maintenance. Additionally, large-scale military spending diverts resources needed for investment and civilian consumption. Many experts believe that the policies of the North Korean government, which began in the aftermath of the Korean War, have hindered the country's economic development. North Korea's economy operates under a centralized command system heavily controlled by the government. The major sectors include industry, agriculture, and military spending. Unlike capitalist economies, private enterprise is virtually non-existent, and the state owns most means of production. This system has profound implications for economic productivity and wealth distribution. According to the Factbook, North Korea's industries include military products, machine building, electrical power, chemicals, mining, metallurgy, textiles, food processing, and tourism. The country mainly exports minerals, metallurgical products, and manufactured goods, including armaments, textiles, and agricultural and fishery products. Its main imports are petroleum, coking coal, machinery and equipment, textiles, and grain. The Factbook estimates that the industry contributes to nearly half of the country's GDP, followed by services and agriculture. Gross domestic product is one way to measure a country's wealth. However, accurate GDP figures for North Korea are hard to come by due to the regime's secretive nature and unreliable reporting. According to estimates by the South Korean Bank of Korea, North Korea's GDP in 2020 was approximately $28 billion. In perspective, this is minuscule compared to South Korea's GDP, which stood at around $0.63 trillion in the same year. Estimates suggest North Korea's per capita GDP is around $1,300, making it one of the poorest nations globally. This low figure highlights the widespread poverty and economic hardship its citizens face. The North Korean economy relies heavily on arms deals and exports to African countries. There is also concern about potential collaboration between North Korea and Iran in the development of nuclear weapons. North Korea continues to trade arms and related materials, taking advantage of markets and procurement services in Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. North Korea allocates significant resources to military spending, maintaining one of the world's largest armies. Estimates indicate that the country spends between 20% to 25% of its GDP on the military. However, this focus on military expenditure comes at the expense of economic development and the well-being of its people. Despite its economic struggles, North Korea is rich in natural resources such as coal, iron ore, magnesite, gold, and other minerals, which could be worth trillions of dollars. However, the country needs more infrastructure, technology, and international sanctions to exploit these resources fully. Much mining is done under primitive conditions, and a significant portion of the output is traded illicitly. China is North Korea's primary trading partner, according to the CIA's World Factbook. Nearly 86% of North Korea's exports are directed to China, including metallurgical products, minerals, manufactured products, textiles, and agricultural and fishery products. North Korea mainly imports petroleum, cooking coal, machinery, equipment, textiles, and grain, with over 90% of its imports coming from China. It is widely believed that China imports goods on behalf of North Korea to bypass trade sanctions imposed on North Korea. In 2021, North Korea imported over $260 million worth of goods from China. North Korea faces international sanctions due to its nuclear weapons program, which limits its ability to trade on the global market and restricts its access to essential goods and foreign currency. Despite sanctions, North Korea engages in limited trade with countries such as Russia and Iran, often through clandestine means. The informal economy, known as the Jangwadong or black market, has thrived in North Korea in response to economic hardships and state control. These markets provide goods and services the state cannot supply, with people engaging in small-scale trade and selling items smuggled from China. While the black market brings some vitality to the economy, it also highlights the failures of the state-controlled system. Economic struggles in North Korea have led to significant humanitarian issues, including recurring food shortages and famines, particularly in the 1990s. Around 40% of the population is estimated to be undernourished, and many rely on international food aid to survive. Healthcare also faces challenges, with severe shortages of medicines and medical supplies. The future of North Korea's economy is still being determined. While there is potential for improvement through significant reforms and opening up to international trade, the regime's focus on political control and commitment to its nuclear program makes substantial economic reforms unlikely in the near term. Limited market reforms, such as allowing small-scale private farming and entrepreneurial activities, have been observed, but these are cautious and aimed at preventing threats to the regime's control. After the once unified kingdom was divided, North Korea's initial economic phase focused on industrialization despite the damage caused by the Korean War. The country adopted the Soviet governance model and centrally planned socialist economics, along with the ideology of juche and self-reliance. This approach prioritized the development of heavy industry and investments in sectors like iron, steel, cement, and machine tools. In conclusion, North Korea remains one of the world's poorest and most isolated countries, with extremely low GDP and per capita income. Despite significant natural resources, the country needs more infrastructure, technology, and international sanctions. The heavy focus on military expenditure further strains resources that could be used for economic development and improving the lives of its citizens. The future of North Korea's economy depends on its willingness to undertake substantial reforms and engage with the international community. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you.